Hi everyone, this is Bic Benedict. We're playing Dead Space 3, the DLC content entitled Awakening. This is the second of the 3 installments for that DLC that I just mentioned. This is called Infidels. So this is a much briefer chapter than Chapter 1, and it's going to be the same way for Chapter 3. But this is an easy chapter. I would say that this is both the easiest and the shortest of the 3 chapters. The next chapter is the hardest with the boss fights. But I will say something. The antagonist throughout all of this, the Satan-esque guy that we fight, who's actually, and this is just my conjecture, he's just some kind of a heretic or a fanaticist, some kind of religious fanaticist. He makes a hell of a lot of a fiercer antagonist than did Danik in Dead Space 3. That's for sure. This guy is very scary. Whereas Danik, most of the game I didn't even know what Danik's name was because he was so forgettable of a character. Anyway, here's the airlock. Edited out all the standing around waiting for the game to load. And we have an opportunity to visit the suit kiosk if you want to. Now, riding up the elevator, go to floor 2, and we're going to revisit the cockpit. And we're going to revisit the cockpit again later. So, it kind of draws me off of playing this a little bit. And I think it actually... in the last video when I said it was worth every penny, I would say it's worth every penny of $5, not $10. Watch out for these guys. These guys are pretty scary and intense. These guys right here, these butchers. I'll just call them butchers. But I think $10 is too much for this DLC. It's I think whatever Severed was for Dead Space 2, I think it was also $10, or maybe it was $15. That was worth every penny, just because it had a lot of quality to it. This just has a lot of backtracking, running around in the same environments, going up elevators, going up lifts, and in a lot of the rooms you don't even fight monsters. Anyway, so there's the puzzle that we did right there. Now we're going to go back. We just needed to restore power. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, those are called hacks. I forgot what those are called. So here's another of his hallucinations right here. And we are going to be having some hallucinations where the guy tries to kill us, and I'll tell you exactly how to handle those situations. Here's a checkpoint area. And we're going to be going into a room where they're having a sacrifice of some sort, and you can't shoot any of the enemies until, I think it has to do with proximity, till you get into the middle of the arena where everybody is, or it might not be proximity. It might be until the guy sacrifices this guy over here, or I think he might just cut his hands off or something right here. But you'll notice all these guys disappear, and then they reappear. Like, you see, they disappear, and then not all of them reappear. But this is a great place to stand back here, because in a lot of sections in this game, you're facing like these type of enemies, or you're facing feeders, and sometimes you just want to just force all the enemies down one route so they can't go in multiple directions and give you a hard time. But this is definitely, even though this is on quote unquote, well, it's on hard difficulty. It's a little bit harder than impossible difficulty, because when you're playing impossible, you can count on having some health packs dropping from time to time. But this room here, if you didn't notice, this is where the train section was in like Chapter 5, I think, in the main campaign, and where we had all the regenerators trying to kill us. It was really intense. So I'm going to speed this footage up too. We need to go to the aft station, in case you missed it right there. I'm not sure what would happen if you go to the other selection there. So there's good old Danik right there. Now we want to head over to the elevator, I believe, and then we have a very lucrative room over here with a bench. It's just, you get weary seeing the same stuff, or just seeing the same stuff over and over again. It just gets old because the mind wants fresh content and wants new things. Okay, see this? That might have been me being too close to the enemy, but that might have been scripted too. So even if it was scripted, it's okay because he didn't take any damage off me. But that guy is going to be haunting us through this entire campaign, and he is a very fierce and scary enemy. I will say that he's definitely an antagonist worthy of Dead Space. So here again, these enemies aren't going to do anything until we trigger them. So see that roll right there? Say what you want about the roll. It works pretty well sometimes if you just want to do that roll and evade somebody from hitting you with a knife or something like that. I believe we're going to have some feeders up too. A lot of the times also when you're fighting this guy here, not only does he throw that stasis there, and that'll really throw a wrench into your battle plans, but you don't have to shoot this guy. And you will be seeing me shoot him, but it's just because I'm bored and I want to shoot him. So here's some of these. I guess they're even hungrier feeders than normal because they're skin and bones here. But again, try to get into a location where these enemies can't jump on you. See, and then this guy reappears here. You just have to wait until he stops talking. And just don't go too close to him or he'll try to gut you with that knife that he has. This is just a badass enemy. I love this enemy. And he will be the boss of Chapter 3. And he's tough. He's very tough. I'm actually having to replay that chapter because I went there ill-equipped to deal with the whole situation. There's 2 bosses actually. So even on the final boss, you don't hit him. You have to. Well, you kind of do hit him. I won't spoil anything else, but in this DLC package, there's a lot of psychological tricks and gimmicks that the game does, and they were praising that in the IGN review about this, how they were reinstating some of these. Like, this guy scared the fuck out of me. That guy screams and roars when you get next to him, and I had no idea he was over there. And that was almost worth the price of admission right there, that guy. He scared the hell out of me. But I kind of lost. Oh, yeah, there were the IGN review, that is, they were giving praise to this game for reinstating some of the psychological breakdown of the character. I never really liked that whole the game messing with you too much. It already messes with you enough, and then to have all the screen blurring in and out, and like this is really scary too here. But like here, see, he just disappeared, and you pretty much, if you're trying to conserve ammo, just don't shoot him whatsoever. But since I have like over 1,000 rounds, there's no need for me to conserve ammo. So now we want to go down the lift over here. Yeah, I never liked the whole, like Nicole and her haunting Isaac. I just didn't care for that. And here it's just, I don't know, because this game is already, dare I say, trippy enough. It's already, I don't even like to use that word because it's kind of one of those weird words that doesn't really qualify anything too well, but so we backtracked here. So basically, this game, when they pull those kind of tricks and stuff like that, the game starts to make a lot less sense and it gets more convoluted. It's like I just like straight up horror. I don't like a lot of psychological things that you have to strain to understand, and sometimes it takes like a whole group of people just to interpret something that might not even be mean anything in general. But that's just me. I like straight up horror. That's why I prefer Dead Space 1 over Dead Space 2. But Dead Space 2 is still a very, very good game and a high quality piece of software. So I believe this is the final room right here, and we have an encounter. This is a precursor to the final boss right over here. We're going to be in the arena where we fight the final boss in Chapter 3. It's the same dude, but when you approach this area over here, so this is essentially just a toned down version of the final boss here. You cannot hit him, but if you get too close to him, he will slash at you. He's also got lackeys. I mean, what boss doesn't have lackeys these days? He's got these elite feeders here, and you may see me try to shoot him. That's just because I don't particularly like this guy too much, especially when he does that kind of shit. So I'm just hitting him. I'm just hitting him. And when the shaft of light goes into the marker, you have to hit the marker. But don't get too caught up in hitting the marker if these guys are hitting you. So just stasis them and then resume hitting the marker here. And like I said, this is a much tamer and easier version of the boss that we're going to have to do in Chapter 3. Because we will be subduing the boss in Chapter 3 and actually hitting him. But right there, we weren't hitting him, we were just avoiding him.